So that gets to my next question. So what exactly are you doing in order to improve these type of relations? Like in order to improve uh essentially people's thought process of like how like to talk about like if there is a consent violation, like how what are you doing in order to like better make it easier for people to be able to do this
Yeah.
and feel safe. That's
Honestly, like I just said, like first of all, addressing like if someone is coming to others in any capacity and saying like I experienced this harm, first of all, we're gonna believe you,
mm-hmm.
like off rip. And then the next thing is to like document the incident, like get as much information as possible of what happened. Go to the harm doer, be like, listen, we want to have a fair conversation with you about this. We want like this is what we understand. Is there anything that you have to say? And then also like bring in outside people who are not involved in this, keeping it anonymous as much as possible, right, to protect people's identity. Like this is a situation, and kind of look at it. And if we need further details, if we need people to speak on others' behalf, like do that. But to actually like have policies in place that outline every possible scenario, including if we find out someone like was lying, like that's an instant ban
Mm-hmm.
because you were like especially if we find out you were purposefully doing something like that, like you were doing it with malice and it has no standing whatsoever, you gotta go. So like you have to keep it as open and transparent as possible. I feel like being transparent, being detail oriented and looking at every possible scenario, but also maintaining people's safety, anonymity, and like their privacy, and believing everyone as much as possible, and then also giving the harm doer a chance to rectify the situation. If there's anything that they can do to potentially like give an almost transformational restorative justice process as well, where it's like, okay, you're admitting these things, you're taking steps to be accountable, and like trying to amend the situation as much as possible. That's the best thing we can try to do right now.
That's more than a lot of organizations would do, and I actually applaud you for that because I do believe that there is that bit of nuance that exists, and like one of the I know that doing stuff like that is not easy. It's
No,
not
no.
because the court of public opinion is going to immediately jump down the throats of everybody,
Yeah.
and they is like they are out for blood,
Hmm.
and they are going to make sure they get it. Damn it.
And I feel like that's where a lot of people stop.
Yes.
They stop at let's get blood, let's get revenge, and it's like no, that isn't always the answer because not everyone just wants people to just be gone in a way and act like they don't fucking exist. Because that also, like I was saying, it does harm to that person because now they're losing community, they're losing friends, they're losing people who were like, they're not even getting checked in on. Like, hey, it's been a couple years. Like, have you taken any classes about consent models? Like, are you doing any personal work and growth to like address like maybe certain mental thing, certain interpretations of like what you thought was happening in the situation that weren't there? Like, how are your relationships with other people now? How's your relationship with yourself? Like, we're not we're not doing outreach to these people, and I feel like that's a disservice to the community overall.
Back in the day when I first started in the community, we used to have a rule about like alcohol and stuff like that.
Mm,
Like if you were going to a kink event, you could not drink alcohol whatsoever. There
yeah.
was no consumption of alcohol. That has changed in 10 years that I've been in
Oh,
the
very much
community.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because people realize we're adults
Mm,
and that we should be able to control like our intake and stuff like that.
right.
Is there any failsafe that you have like for situations in which like someone's intoxicated and they like jump off the deep end and be like, "Yeah, I want to do this play," which I've you and I have both seen that
I've seen
happen.
that happen. I've also been that person. But I like if I know that I'm planning on doing that, I say early in the night, like, look, I'm trying to get fucked up. But I'm saying this person, you can do these things, and I'm taking my personal responsibility into effect. So that's something that like me, but I'm also like a risk aware kink
Yeah.
player, so like that's just a different thing that I do. But like for certain events, first of all, having dry events if at all possible. Like if there's any way that we can have a dry event, or if you are going to be drinking, like if you're visibly intoxicated, you are not playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's part of having organizers or also just volunteers, people that are looking out for each other, being like, hey, you should probably like maybe don't dial it back a little bit, or like being like, hey, you are too intoxicated to play, and so we just recommended that you not do that. But also, like, again, if someone is a rack player, come to leadership early and be like, listen, I'm planning on doing this, this, and this. Or even like a CNC scene. Like, giving people a heads up, I feel like is at least fair in that. But again, but also if someone is combative when they're intoxicated, you have to be.
See, now that's like what is the two acronym things? It's rack and
There's rack, and then there's another one I can't remember what it's
yeah.
called right now.
But do you know that those didn't exist back when I first started?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, they
Like,
those are more current
yeah.
and recent things. I had to look them up, and I'm glad I did because
Mm-hmm.
that's a really good. It's a really good, uh, uh, like, it's a really good. I'm trying to think of the word that I could put there, but it's a really good motto to have.
It sets a
Yeah,
standard.
yeah.
Because I was actually talking to I've been talking to friends about like going to like the certain clubs that we will go
Mm-hmm.
to, and like different cultures of different nights, right? Because if you think about like a rack kink aware event versus like a swingers party
Mm-hmm.
versus like even like a bathhouse type of event where it's like cis gay men, right? All of those different groups have their own unique kind of consent models, and not all of them express what it is. I feel like that's part of it. It's
Yes,
like
that's
rack is like we're very aware that like this is what's happening, and like you might see some weird shit, and that's kind of on the table. And also like having separate places for people to not do that too, where like the rack isn't just taking up the whole room. It's like it's in a dedicated space, and like everything else is like more mellow. But like swingers events, they have their own consent models.
they do.
You know what I mean? They're like it's changing, but a lot of it's very cis het,
Yeah,
and a
and
lot of
it's
it's couples.
yeah.
You know, and also like cis gay male like bathhouse events. A lot of those, I mean, even also some of the bars too. If you walk in the door, that's your consent. You're consenting to get touched. You're consenting to
Get the
get
fuck out!
kissed.
I didn't
Oh
know it was like
yeah.
how that
Oh
worked.
yeah. Depending on the event. Oh yeah.
See, that's and I've always had an issue with like places like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
But it's unspoken. That's part of the problem with like some of the bathhouses and like
yeah.
some cis gay male things. It's like it is an unspoken thing.
See, now when we were talking about the swingers, I remember that one place that we go to.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, when the kink people and swingers would mesh together for that one
Yeah.
Freaky Friday, you would have situations where dudes would walk up and grab someone by the arm and pull them into a scene, and they're like, "Oh, we need you for a scene." What the fuck is that?
First of all, who are you?
Exactly. And they were using like I wouldn't I would say swinger logic in a kink scene, and it's like no,
Mm,
it's
that's not
not.
how that works,
No.
though. That's not how that works. Because you can do that, but again, you need to discuss it beforehand. And even you can do the swinger thing where you're like coming up, you're like, "Hey, we noticed you across the bar, like type vibe or
Hmm.
whatever." You can do that, but still be like, this person, that person, no, like giving the person the ability to have the conversation of like who they want involved in the
Hmm.
scene is part of it too, right? It's like I want this, and also like who has what type of toys, like what are things I'm interested in bottoming for, what are things that you're interested in doing, can we meet in the middle somewhere with that, like also like if you don't want somebody that's in the room to do anything, you upset.
it's just like you get those, but then you also get those swingers that come to a king party and they'd be like, "Oh, so what are you into? Sex."
Right, and it's like that's not.
Yeah, but it's the Quagmire answer. It's, he says, "Oh, we have the family over. What are you all doing? We are playing sex," and he just closes the door, and it's just like, "What the fuck?" And it's like,
No, absolutely not.
but you do have people that think in that Quagmire
Mm-hmm.
like idealistic way of thinking, and it's not logical.
And, I mean, even trying to get an orgy started, it's sometimes you have to, you have to select the vibe. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, and so actually being, I've been in an orgy before, and it was actually kind of funny because it was an ABDL orgy, and that was interesting because everybody was fucking nervous.
Oh
Like
yeah,
we're all like, so are we
yeah, we're
doing this?
doing this.
And I'm just like, what's going on? And everyone's just like, I don't know. And it's kind of like I don't know how many wrestling fans are out there, but you watch the Fatal 4-Way match, and everyone's just like looking at each other. Who's gonna make the first move? But there was like five of us, so it was just like what? That was fascinating. Like that was actually fucking fascinating. I had never been in a situation where like all of us are just like, who's getting fucked first? Who starts this? How do we start
That's like,
this?
how do you start it?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like even getting an orgy started is like, okay, wait, how is this happening? Who's doing what? Like, do you have gloves?
Yeah.
Do you have lube? What kind do you have?
Bacon lube. What the fuck is bacon lube?
Yo, Hobie pulling out the boy butter. I was like, yo.
Yo, what? I never heard of boy butter.
Oh my god. Oh, it comes in the cutest packaging. Also, I'll send you pics later.
See,
It's amazing.
my roommate and I look at novelty shit like wasabi toothpaste and then bacon lube and I was like, I don't know about that. Like, I'm not gonna
I feel
lie.
like it would stink after a while.
I don't think it's actually supposed to be bathed in bacon grease. Like, it's not like that. It's not like the lube itself is bacon grease.
No, but like the smell. That's the smell of the bacon, and then also with like, especially if you doing anal, like I feel like that would be a smell that I'm not necessarily interested in
Well, I
discovering.
mean, like if the person cleaned out right, I guess they would be
Yeah, but
fine.
you're still poo in there.
Yes, true.
It's literally an asshole.
Yeah.
So like that mixed with the bacon lube, like mixed with the Santorum, I just feel like
Did you really find a way to use that?
you know I'm going to.
God damn it! I remember. I have been for years wanting to use that term after it was actually created, and I was like, nah,
I use it all the anytime I can sprinkle it in. I try to use
that
it.
was great. Hello there. This is the end of the segment. So, couple of messages. Just want to get these out there real quick. Um, Thank you so much for supporting our series, supporting our channel, and supporting the series, and just being really, really awesome. We really appreciate you. I just wanted to let you guys know a couple of things. First, if you're not subscribed, please press the subscribe button down below. Uh, it's good to know that there are people that are very much interested. Leave us a like, comment. We always love reading the comments. You guys leave awesome comments. So, yeah, thank you again. Here's the other thing for the newbies. So, a lot of you are probably here for the Ageplay podcast a lot. But did you know that we do other series? Yeah. So we have 3 other series that we do here on this channel. It's the Kid Ankh Age Play, Gaming and Age Play. which is a really awesome series where we basically just play video games and talk about kink. Majorly topics pertaining to age play, though. Then we have the Kid Ankh playtime live stream where I play with action figures and answer your questions. Yeah, those that's a really awesome Q&A series that really gets me able to communicate with everyone. And last but not least, the Kid on Fat Blobs. This is the series that I started when I first got here. So, this series is freaking awesome. I still love doing these essays where I talk about the community and my journey through it and my commentary about the things that I've learned over the years and what I see and things that I feel like could change and things that I can open people's eyes on if they when they if they would just look at the different situations. So yeah, 100%. Please, please, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. It really does let us know that you're listening. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for all your support and all your help. We wouldn't have made it here 10 years without you. You guys are amazing. I love you all. Bye.